evening. First off, to everybody who has spoke thus far, I commend you and applaud you for your continued efforts into healing. When I was first asked by Dr. Susie about talking tonight, I had declined. Not because I don't like to talk, just ask anyone out in the audience who knows me. But I hesitated because for the first time in my life, I didn't know what to say. I still have, and probably will for the rest of my life, have a hard time wrapping my head around this complex disorder. A disorder that consumed my sister and eventually what took her life. Shannon always used to say to us, it's not about the weight. By not fully understanding the disorder and how for many ED satisfies a psyche need and not a physical need is a lot for us non-professionals to grasp. But one did not have to be a professional to see her and know that something was wrong. As Dad quoted, I wish these professionals would have seen better than they hear. Shannon knew the verbiage her doctors wanted to hear and somehow continued to fly under the radar. By talking tonight, I was afraid I would be doing an injustice to my sister for not understanding her illness, as much as I tried to over the years when she would explain her feelings to me. However, this past Tuesday evening it came to me. By not talking about this is what would be the true injustice, because therein lies the problem. We need to talk. I guess I don't have to understand the disease to understand the pain it caused Shannon. For those out there who love someone, you know that if our loved one is in pain, we are in pain. Hopefully after tonight, more people will be willing to open up and see that events like tonight are crucial for those who suffer and for their survival. So thank you to Dr. Susie and for all of you who came out tonight ready to talk about ED. As my mom just got finished telling you, my sister Shannon was at the hospital on July 5th for a cat bite. Since Shannon was one to self-diagnose, WebMD being her favorite link, my parents and I felt encouraged by her checking herself into the hospital. Whatever it took, we were relieved she would be somewhere safe, and perhaps somebody would finally look at her and say, this girl needs help. I truly believe after years of Shannon wanting to try to beat her eating disorder alone, even though she never was alone, this was her way of crying out for help. I believe that her going to the hospital was less about the cat bite and more about the hope that if they made her stay, then it wouldn't be about her giving into Ed, her internal demon. Shannon was a fighter, and like her little sister, a stubborn one at that. Perhaps Shannon finally came to realize that the disease was much bigger than she was, and that she needed real help. Regardless, when we arrived at the hospital, she said to me, I hope they keep me. I feel safe here. I think I knew what she meant. For her wanting to stay at the hospital raised a red flag, but we were told that they were treating her for a cat bite because that is what she came in for. But they would talk to her. I was surprised to see her in her regular clothes and not in a hospital gown. I thought the normal protocol for hospitals, especially as bad as her bite was, would be to have her in a more sanitary gown. Instead, she was in bed in her long sleeve shirt, her long athletic pants, and her North Face jacket in July. I am not sure if it's because she talked to them into allowing her to keep her regular clothes on, or because they chose to ignore what was underneath. Although whoever put in her IV and wrapped up her wound could not possibly ignore what they saw under her clothes. She was so tiny and so weak. Shannon was released the next morning, and now, although it's too late for my sister, it's time we talk about it. For those of us who love Shannon, for all of you who love someone, for those out there suffering who can't seem to find a way to love themselves, it's time to let your wall down and allow those who love you to help. I beg you, please do not become another ED statistic. There is nothing to be ashamed about, and although Shannon used to say this did not happen overnight and it will not go away overnight, in some cases there is not enough time to wait. Every day you abuse your body is a day less you have to love it. We must insist that professionals, present company excluded of course, acknowledge ED as a serious disease that needs immediate attention. Shannon wanted us to wait time and time again as she assured us she was getting better, even though we knew better. If HIPAA is set in place to protect the patients, then in my sister's case, I felt it did anything but. The only thing it did was continue to put up a wall that kept us away and continue to allow her to abuse her body. I know more than anything she wanted to get better and hoped she could do it her way. But sometimes we must be okay with resigning to the fact that there are some things in life we just need help in doing. Asking for help is not failure, my friends, nor is it about losing control. In fact, asking for help is taking true control of your life and is the first step in kicking Ed's ass. It's never too late to start anew, but we must start. We are here tonight on behalf of my sister and to urge you to not allow another day to pass without asking for help. You are stronger than Ed, but remember, you cannot, nor should you try, to fight it alone. We hope that by speaking tonight and sharing our story, we can help raise money for NEDAW and save lives. So many people will continue to suffer in silence if not being properly treated. We need to not only raise money, but raise awareness to the general population and to the professionals who treat people with eating disorders. Education is a powerful tool. We need to refuse to allow a treatable but very serious disease continue to go untreated. We must be allowed to be given the voice of reason for our loved ones who are suffering. This is the bear I gave Shannon on July 5th at the hospital. She named her Hope. Shannon was strong in her faith, and I truly believe that even at her weakest in the hospital, she still had hope. My hope today is that you will help us continue to speak out so that no one will have to suffer the way my sister suffered for so many years. My hope is that we raise our voices, that we leave tonight inspired and ready to help fight this disease. My hope is that we get doctors here, present company excluded again, who truly want to help bring eating disorders to a forefront, and that they will see that Ed be taken seriously and researched as much as any other illnesses are researched, because it is a serious illness claiming lives daily. My hope is we will have more choices of affordable and safe places to receive in and outpatient treatment centers here in Cincinnati, who, like Dr. Susie has done for so many, will treat the patient and not just the symptom. We should not have to leave our state in order to seek proper treatment. Before we left that day at the hospital, Shannon placed her hands on my cheeks and said, "You know I love you, Em." That would be the last time I saw her alive, and I will forever remember that moment and her smile. My final hope is that no one will ever have to lose another loved one to Ed. I'd like to end with a passage we were given after my sister's passing. So we go from the caterpillar to the cocoon to the butterfly, and each is a part of who we are and how we feel. And as we heal through the grief process, some days we are all caterpillar, and some days we are part butterfly, and some days cocoon, looking for time to just be alone. A butterfly lies beside us as a sunbeam, and for a brief moment, its glory and beauty belong to our world, but then it flies on again. And though we wish it could have stayed longer, we feel lucky to have seen it. Thank you all for coming here tonight, allowing us to share our stories, and for helping us to fundraise in order to help save lives. A special thanks to Dr. Susie and all who have given so much of their own times, money, energy, and tears into this event and to her daily life. Spread your tattered wings, and may the song return once again to your heart. Thank you, and God bless.